Shalom, Hebrews and Shebrews. Welcome back. This is going to have to be part two of the economy, culture, wolf crash, and COVID-19 virus. Part two. I got interrupted part one. So, um, what I was saying at the end of part one was that um, regardless of what our platform, regardless of what our title is, as we walk with Yahweh, whether it be pastor or deacon or elder or just member, um, our very first mission and ministry is inside the four walls of our home. First of all, our wife and then our children. And so I found out last night after my daughter went to bed that all the news hype and everything has kind of got her in upset. Like, you know, is this lining up with biblical end time scripture and it's all coming to hell? And so I didn't realize that. So today, when I get home, I've got to do some ministering and fathering and doing what I'm first called to do, and then I serve the world. Then I serve the church. I don't serve the world. Uh, so I got to get that done first and foremost. And we got a little project that me and her is going to work on. I went and bought all the stuff for it yesterday. Um, she's repainted a room. First time we've had a house that, you know, was ours in a long time. And so she wanted to repaint her room and get a new bed. And she looked around online. She's like, I'm not paying $3,000-4,000 for a bedroom suite, Dad. I said, well, we can go get the lumber and we can make you pretty much whatever the heck you've seen in magazines for a whole lot less. And that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to minister as we work. Maybe even make a video on that one tonight. But we got to get her mind at ease and get her on track to focus on Yahweh. You know, and my wife may be a little bit uneasy, and she just hasn't told me. I don't know. You know, so let's work on the home, and then we work outwards. You know, that's first and foremost in every man's ministry. I don't care what you're doing for God out in the world, out in the church body. If you're not taking care of your home, you're worse than an infidel. It says so in Scripture. I believe it's in 2 Timothy. So we're going to do that. The next thing is they shut down the schools and they're shutting these things down. Should we shut down and not have service Sunday? I don't know. I tell you what, the research that I've seen, the research that I'm doing, and what I believe where we're at, we're going to go forward and we're going to have service. Now, my next job is to protect the assembly and the flock that Yah has given me, and those members. If something that we're doing is going to put them in danger, then I need to reevaluate it. And I'm taking this, I put this up there on the very top shelf, and this is serious. I'm looking at it, and I told everybody just plan on going to church Sunday morning, and if I see something that is harmful, that could be harmful, I'll call it off right at that time, you know, or at the time that I see it. But just plan on being at church Sunday. Yeah, I know. We're working on getting everything to the Sabbath, but we've got to lay down the brickwork so everybody knows why. Everybody that I know around here has been indoctrinated with the Christian theologies and the Roman Catholic theologies, and it's kind of hard to break. It's kind of hard to get that stuff out of the way so we can lay down the full truth of Yah. But we're getting there. So, anyway, yes, we are moving forward. We are going to have assembly and worship as per schedule, unless something changes. And I think everybody ought to operate that way. Let's move forward until we see that it's inoperable, you know, and have plan B, of course, but don't jump to plan B right off the bat and burn down plan A because you're scared. You're living on emotions and you're making decisions on emotions rather than your intellect. We should never make a decision when we're all messed up in emotions. When we're an emotional wreck, we should never make any serious decisions. You know, get yourself under control, get yourself straightened out, dried up, and and then look at what you've got to decide and what you got to do. But that's where we're at right now. We're moving forward. The economy's tanking. I just bought a business, and Economics 101 says when things are crashed and low, that's when you invest, build, and buy, uh, not when things are booming and bamming. And so we're going to move forward. We are going to continue to expand and build as we get capital to do so. And Yahweh's blessing us. I thought, man, we're going to lose all these oil field crews, this and that. We've been filled up 4 nights in a row. Every room we got rented out for 5-6 days at a time. Yahweh is taking care of us that way, you know. Uh, and it's crazy because it's not oil field crews. It's the crews that are putting up these big old wind turbines, on wind farms and stuff. They're the escorters. And so, hey, look at what Yah has for you, The Israelites coming out of Egypt, they didn't have the leeks and the garlic and all that, but they had manna. It showed up every day, as God said so. Yeah, well, I don't like manna. Well, eat it or die. I'm going to keep complaining here. Have some quail until you get sick. You know? Quit making decisions on emotions. Quit making decisions that will benefit the flesh and the flesh only. Yeah, but whatever. What's y'all want you to do? This is going to cost me $50,000. Okay, it's $50,000. Big deal. Is what you want to do in the flesh going to glorify God, or is it going to glorify your pride? Step back and think about which one's going to get glorified. I had to get me a good old eye opener here a couple months ago because I was going to satisfy my pride, and I'd done justified myself in Scripture to go lay hands on me. I regret that extremely because that man was a friend of mine. I misread a text, and I thought he was disrespecting his wife, and I went and jacked him up. And, we talked about it, started getting it straight, told me what the text really said. I re-looked at the text and went, oh, crap, I jumped the gun. That ain't really what I thought it said. But it put a hell of a dent in our friendship. So, think about what you're going to do before you go do it. Satisfy your flesh, or you can satisfy your pride in flesh, or you can glorify God. And that may mean doing the polar opposite of what your flesh wants to do and what the world says you ought to do in this situation. The book of Situation says, boop, 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 hop in car, go find God, beat him up. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He deserves being beat down. Okay, well, the book of YAH says, be humble, be still, and know that I'm God. And then it also says, vengeance is mine. So, quit emoting, quit operating emotionally, operate spiritually. It's not easy sometimes. I know that. We all make our mistakes, but keep that in mind. We'll be better off, y'all. We got a lot of crazy things coming up. I don't think this is the end of it. I think it's just the beginning of it, My brother Bear over at Bear Independent made a video similar, talking about a reset of the economy, and this being the vehicle to do so. I agree. That's a great possibility, because during, the economy with the derivatives and, you know, the stock market, gold prices, silver prices, uh, they are not, uh, they do not mirror what they should. Uh, it's a fallacy, you know. Uh, the paper gold market, there may be 200 people that own that 1 ounce of gold, and each and every one of them think that 1 ounce of gold is theirs. What's going to happen when all 200 go to the bank to get that one piece of gold? Well, first one comes, I guess, gets it. And the other 199 is going to be slightly pissed off because, according to the paper, they own it. See what I'm saying? So, our derivatives market, which is basically a bet on the market. I kind of know what derivatives are, but not a whole lot. But it's a bet on whether the market's going to fail or succeed. And there's lots of money involved in these derivatives. And so we we may have a little bit of hell coming at us. It could be instituted by the deep state, and it could be instituted by y'all. Straighten America out. I don't know. But anyway, that's my thoughts this morning. Yesterday was a lot. Did a lot of reading scriptures and uh, done a lot of research on this virus and uh, the candidates that are running for office, the ones that are in office. Done quite a bit of research on there and found some quite disturbing things, but nothing that I would be qualified to repeat. It would be a regurgitation, first of all, and um, I wouldn't do it justice. But I suggest y'all go look some of these things up. One other thing that I want to mention um, that was brought to my attention yesterday, an author of a fiction book named Dean Koontz, DeanKoontz. Dean Koontz wrote a book in 1981, a fictional book. And in this fictional book,